Dominic Perrottet is the 46th Premier of New South Wales, just a decade after he first entered the Parliament. Mr Perrottet's leadership will soon shape everything from the state's post-pandemic path to the conversations in Canberra around tax and the GST. Danica DiGiorgio is in Epping, where Dominic Perrottet is the local member. Danica, well, it's a new chapter today, isn't it?
Well, that's what he certainly declared. Dominic Perrottet saying that today marks a new chapter in New South Wales and one that we will all write. He's declared himself a family premier and says that he brings strength and experience to this team as it looks to take New South Wales into the next phase of this pandemic. Dominic Perrottet will this afternoon be sworn in as the 46th Premier of New South Wales after being elected during a party room ballot at Macquarie Street this morning. He defeated the Planning Minister Rob Stokes 39 votes to 5. It was an emphatic victory and ended the way that it had been planned originally. He becomes the youngest Premier in New South Wales at just 39 years old, following the shock resignation of Gladys Berejiklian on Friday. In his speech a short time ago, he paid tribute to Gladys Berejiklian and said that he hopes to emulate the strength that she has shown throughout this pandemic. Worth noting, there will not be major changes to the cabinet. Stuart Ayres was this morning elected unopposed as the deputy leader. Matt Keane is likely to become the treasurer, while the health minister Brad Hazzard, he's expected to retain that portfolio. But Dominic Perrottet saying that he will look for diversity in his cabinet, though his first priority maintains that it is taking New South Wales into the next phase of the pandemic.
We want New South Wales to bounce back stronger, safer and more successful than ever before. To get back to the life that we love and the freedoms that we hold dear. Our first priority will be to continue the plan that we have started, keeping people safe, opening up the economy and securing our recovery.
During his time as Treasurer, he's certainly been a visible presence throughout this pandemic and front and centre at a number of the crisis cabinet meetings. He's been pro-business, pro-the economy and pro-reopening, at times even clashing with the Chief Health Officer, Dr Kerry Chant, about her moves to reopen. And he's certainly been wanting to reopen quicker than others had anticipated. Now, this afternoon, after that swearing-in ceremony, he will meet with health officials where he will discuss the roadmap. He says, though, at this stage, Monday does remain the reopening date.
This is early days and, we have done so well. My intention at this stage is that that day will remain on Monday for next week, but there are a number of issues that need to be looked at.
The task ahead now, though, is to convince voters ahead of the next state election. I've been in Epping for the last few hours. He's the local member here. He's been the local member since 2019. But the voters that I spoke to, they want to know, well, what does the premiership for Dominic Perrottet mean? This is what they said.
He's not too bad, but maybe he's... he might be a little bit young, but then again, his experience is there.
I think give him a go. He's been around. He's been with her and her administration and Baird before, so I think give him a go. Why not?
Don't know. I don't actually know him. He's such an amazing treasurer. Who's going to take his job? I'm just very, very upset that Gladys is gone under these circumstances. She's been such an amazing premier for us.
Dominic Perrottet said that he hasn't yet spoken to the Prime Minister. They've been at odds in the past over a number of issues, but he maintains they're just two very passionate people. Dominic Perrottet also said that Gladys Berejiklian has messaged him to wish him well. So, Ash, as of today, it begins a new era in New South Wales, a new phase of the pandemic, but certainly the biggest challenge now for Dominic Perrottet will be to be stepping out of the shadows of that Gladys effect.